All right, in this video, I'll be continuing our PCG series where I show you how to use meshes to spawn different points that then you can host things like windows and signs. Specifically, I'll be showing you how to control where things get spawned on a mesh using height information. So you can see at the bottom, I'm spawning plants, and at the top, I'm spawning different windows and signage. And obviously, this is all customizable. Go ahead and turn off these signs and then control the signs to make them look like they're balconies to these windows. So it's pretty adaptive. Obviously, this is a very, very entry level, so not everything's going to be resolved. I know there's some issues with the corners. Probably need to kind of add a few more nodes to resolve the corner situations. But that's something for another video. Here is just to show you the basics. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, first thing you want to do is add some geometry. I'm adding this block from a stylized Egypt asset library. And if you want to follow along, I'm providing the links to the assets I'm using in the descriptions below. The next thing you want to do is you want to go into plugins. So you go to edit plugins and type PCG. Here, you'll need to turn on procedural content generation framework, and then this other procedural content framework that's called geometry script. And if you don't have these turned on, it's going to force you to reset your Unreal Engine. So once it's back, you'll be good to go. So from here, you want to create a folder called PCG, or you could probably just place it in your general content browser, but I'm going to come in here and I'm going to create another PCG by right-clicking, going to PCG, PCG Graph, and then create an empty graph. I'm going to call this Mesh 3. You can name it Mesh 1 or whatever you want. Now, it's really important to grab your mesh and drag it into your scene. Otherwise, nothing will work. So you see that I have my volume. This is my PCG volume. So you definitely need to see this within your scene. Otherwise, nothing's going to work. Okay. So double click back into this. And within here, this is your graph. And I'm going to need two nodes. I'm going to right click and I'm going to type mesh sampler. Okay. Now you're getting an error here because it doesn't know what you're trying to sample. Now this is easy to resolve. All you need to do is identify the mesh. So I'm going to go and find the mesh in my stylized Egypt library, go to buildings, and I know I'm using block 2. Go ahead and grab my block and I'm going to drag it over to static mesh. Okay. And that's going to clear it out. Now you have no error. You could also use the drop down to find your specific mesh, but it's easier for me to just drag it over. Now this only identifies the asset in the library. It's not the actual instance. So to identify the instance in a specific location, you need to go ahead and look for a get actor data. So right click, type get actor data. Okay. So this is going to identify the specific mesh, and we're going to do that by using a tag. So I'm going to move this down for a second. Within get actor data, I'm going to go ahead and go to actor filter, go from self and go to all world actors. And we're going to want to name a tag. Now we don't have a tag on the mesh itself, but I can pre-name it and name it block 0. Okay. And then from here, I'm going to move my PCG graph out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and select my mesh. Now that it's selected, it says it's block 4. In the search, I'm going to type tag. It's just the quickest way to get to this. Under actors, there's a tag element you can add. Just click the plus sign. Now here, we're going to type the same exact tag that we added to the get actor data. In my case, it's block 0. Okay, great. Now make sure you unselect and reselect to make sure that's actually saved. There it is. It's fine. So from here, we're back in our PCG. And the next thing we want to do is create a copy points. It's going to help us generate points within our meshes in the way that we want it. So I'm going to grab the get actor data, put it into target, get mesh sampler. And I'm not going to put it into source yet because I know I need a bounds modifier. The reason being is the points will just be so small. So you want to see them. So type bounds modifier. Okay. Connect this here and then connect that there. One thing I should say in get actor data, you're going to want to change this from parse actor components to single points. Okay. That's going to essentially set it up the way that we want to control the points. So from here, I'm going to go to copy points, debug it by pressing D. So you see some of the points already. You'll notice that you don't have that many points. So you want to go to mesh sampler, going to sampling method, going from 1 point per triangle and changing this to Poisson sampling. Here, you can control the points. If you go down to Poisson sampling, you can go from the radius from 10, you could bring it down to like 3. It's going to get a lot more dense. Bring it up to, let's say 40, be a lot more sparse. So that's that. We'll keep it at 10 for now. We're probably gonna need to drop that, but just to kind of make a point. Actually, I'm gonna bring it down to 4 so I can make my point very, very clear. Next thing we need to do is control how we're filtering out the highs and the lows, meaning which points from the top are we filtering out, which points from the bottom are we keeping. So we can go ahead and type blueprint, execute blueprint right here. I'm going to drag the out into the in. And now it says it's missing a blueprint. So up in the templates over here, blueprint element type, you're just going to scroll down until you find HeightToDensity. Okay. And then in here, undebug copy to points, debug HeightToDensity. So you can see you have some black points at the bottom. Now I'm going to bring this gradient offset up to like 800. So you can see you might need a pretty big number, but in this case, 800. Now you have these black elements, black points, white points. What that means is that the white points are going to remain and the black points are going to be removed in the density filter once we do that. So I'm going to go right click density filter. I'm going to drag this over and undebug height to density and debug density filter. So in this case, the black was removed, the white remains. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Now I can always invert this by clicking the invert filter. So it keeps the black and removes the white. Now, if I go back to height density, I can also debug this. So you can see if I go to gradient scale and go -1, it also inverses it. So you don't have to inverse it in the density filter. You could kind of inverse the gradient scale itself directly within the height to density node. So go back to 1. Now as I control this, I could bring this up to 1000. Sorry, not 100, 1000. Let's say 1800. See how this works, right? So if I want something all the way up top and filter everything at the bottom. So I'm going to move this down to, I don't know, let's just say 100 again. Actually, 1200. Okay. And then debug this again so you can see. All right. So we're going to generate something up top, maybe the windows. I'll notice if you go all the way up top, there are things spawned on top and we don't want that. Obviously, if we want to spawn windows, we don't want windows up top. So how do we get rid of the top points? We're going to go ahead and right click. We're going to type normal and we'll find normal to density. Okay. I'm just going to drag this over and debug this. So what this is doing is, in this case, it's just filtering out the top, which is what we want. So now that we have the top identified separately from the sides, what we could do is we use a density filter one more time. I'm going to copy this, just copy paste it, connect it. Now you'll notice when I do that, debug this, notice that the white remained and all the black was removed. That's not what we want. We want the inverse of that. So I'm going to click the invert filter and there we go. So we inverted that out. So now all we have are the points on the sides of the building and not the top, right? That's exactly what we wanted. Great. Now we can go ahead and add a static mesh spawner. And this is going to give us a mesh on top. Now we're going to need to transform points, but I'm just going to show you just so you understand. And I'm actually going to need to drop the mesh sampler to something way, way smaller than this. Otherwise my computer might crash. So go back to Poisson sampling radius, and I'm going to bring this up to like 10. Actually, that's still too big. Let's bring it up to like 20. Seems about right. Now in static mesh spawner, what you need to do is go down to mesh selector, mesh entries, just click the plus sign. I go to descriptor, and in here you can select, whoops, not here. In static mesh, you can go ahead and select your meshes. So I'm going to go to my sci-fi pack. And I like to use this fence over here, just drag it over to static mesh. You'll see it's humongous. It's way too big. Okay, we can't see anything or understand anything. That's why we need the transform points. So we're going to go ahead, right click, transform points. Take density filter into transform points. Go ahead and drag this in. So it's still big. Now what we need to do in transform points is come up here to the scale min and max. And I'm going to drop this down to like 0.2 and 0.2. That seems much better. Probably still too big, but much better. I mean, depending on what you want it to do, that could look kind of cool. You know, like really just depends on what you want. If you want to flip these so they're not oriented horizontally, you could do that by going to rotation min and max. I believe it's this one right here. Go 90. And at 90. So both min and max are 90. And now you have vertical signs, I guess, or whatever you want to consider this. All right, so I just made these slightly smaller. I'm going to go ahead and make the mesh sampler even smaller now because I don't want this many signs. Go ahead and make this like 30. There we go, less signs. And you can also change the seed up here. So if you want the locations to be slightly different, you know, if you're getting stuff in weird places, you can always just do that. Now, what if I wanted something spawned at the bottom? So we have signs up top. What if we want plants at the bottom or something? Okay. All I'm gonna need to do is just simply copy everything up to density filter, the first density filter. I'm gonna Control C, Control V. And what that gives me is just a copy of what we had. And if I debug this, you'll see that we have the same points turned on. And what I wanna do is now invert this to -1. And now the points that we have are the bottom ones. These are the ones that are kept. So if I deselect static mesh spawner, you'll see that these are the points that we're going to start spawning, but the points are too sparse. So I'll connect this back in so you see. And what we want is to increase the density. And that's why I copied this. So if we go up to mesh spawner again and we go to Poisson sampling options, let's move this down to like 3, for example. Now we have a lot of meshes, right? And let's say I don't want it exactly spawning up to the bottom of the sign. All I have to do is come back to height density and I drop this 1200 down to say 1000, and there we go. And because I'm not seeing the bottom, I know there's points being spotted at the bottom. We can do the same thing we did before to kind of filter it out, but I'm not going to do that here because I don't see it. And I don't really care about the computational power at this point because it's not that many. But if you did want to remove it, you kind of use the normal to density method as we did before. But all I'm going to do here is add a static mesh spawner. Of course, we're going to need a transform points, but we'll get there when we get there. Just go ahead and select this. And in here, let's just add some grass. So as we did before, just plus the mesh entries, descriptor, and static mesh. So I have some grass from megascans. I'm just going to drag these over to static mesh. That's a lot. Okay, so we need to go to transform points, click transform points. We're going to go ahead and connect this. Alt left click to deselect. Okay, and then transform points. We're going to scale this down. This first thing we need to do. Let's go to like 0.3, 0.3, undebug density filter. Okay, so there's that. I really don't know how big you want to make your stuff, but in this case, that's fine. The whole point of this is just to show you how to spawn. Like, why would you have grass on a building? I have no idea. You could pick leaves, you could pick whatever. I just picked grass just to show the point. Now, I mean, there's only so much you could control here with this method, with the amount of like information I've explained, but it's a start. You know, you can get something pretty quickly. One example you can kind of think about is if you grab this and were to think about it as a ruin or something, you just kind of drag this over and put this in the ground. That starts to look a little bit cooler, you know, especially if I was to kind of make it more like some object that gets nested in the ground. That might make more sense, especially if this was next to some grass. All right, so that's pretty much it. Hopefully you learned a thing or two, and I'll be continuing my next series on decals using PCG.